Hi, Assalamu alaikum. How are you, everyone? Today I am going to discuss something about speaking English, and most of our brothers and sisters asked me, brother, how we can start speaking English and how we can make ourselves a better speaker. And most of the students and my dear brother and sister ask me, we can very easily understand what the speaker is saying, but we cannot speak the same thing. What's the problem? And especially how we can start our conversation and how we can speak also as like a speaker. So I will try to give some suggestion. By following those, you can start your speaking and you can also be a fluent speaker. So I am requesting all of you to comment here. Are you getting me? Are you listening me or not? If you can listen me, you can comment here yes. And if you do not get me, you can also comment me that I am not getting your voice. So by the way, I think when I am speaking in English, most of the viewers, the listeners, you are getting my voice, you are listening me very carefully, you are understand all that speech I am delivering in front of you. But if you want to deliver the same thing, the problem happens. That is, you cannot speak the same thing as well I am saying. So what's the problem? I am not using any hard vocabulary, hard sentence structure or anything that hampers your speaking. What I am using, that all are already known to you. So I think the first problem is your practice, lack of practice. Okay. So when you speak, you think this is the first time I am speaking. Is it right or not? Is here the right pronunciation, right grammatical structure, right tenses? Many things you always think like that. But in speaking, you have to remember first that it's a language. And what is the basic feature or definition of a language? Do you know? Actually, language is a medium of communication. Whatever you are saying or whatever you are speaking, if the audience can understand, you are a good speaker. There is no need to use this hard vocabularies, hard sentence structure, maintaining the tenses. These all are secondary. The mandatory thing is that you have to make the listener understand what you want to speak, what you want to make them understand. So, if you think English is just a language, then it's possible to speak and be fluent. But if you think something other, like it's a very hard thing, we have to maintain many structure, vocabulary, sentence, tense, active or passive, right vocabularies or not, then you are going to talk. So first of all, I request all of you to raise your voice. Just start speaking. Which topic do you want to start speak? It's your choice. But you have to speak with your friends, your tuition students, your colleagues or anyone who is beside you. You can start your speaking with them. Just like at the first time you are speaking, hi, how are you? Assalamu alaikum. How are going on? What's about your family? What's about your study now? What are you doing now? Have you taken your dinner, your breakfast, or something else like that? So I always request you to raise your voice. If you feel shame, it's impossible to be a fluent speaker, especially in English, because when we speak, most of the time we are thinking that we are not speaking the exact thing or right things, we are making many mistakes. But I think obviously you have to make some mistake. Why not? Because if you do not do any mistake, it's impossible to learn the right things. So the second request is that when you speak, you have to correct yourself by identifying your mistakes, what mistakes you are doing. Okay. So if you do the same mistake again and again, it's a bad luck for you, because when you are doing any mistake, if you do not identify and if you do not correct it, you will do the same thing again and again in your whole life. It's obviously a negative signal for you. So especially when we speak, we ourselves cannot find out our mistakes, so we need a guideliner who can identify your speaking mistake and can make you correct. So this is the secondary stage, but at the first stage you have to raise and you have to start your speaking. Such as if you make a routine with your roommate that every day we will speak in English for 2 minutes. What issue you will deal, it's your matter, but you can start like that. We will discuss our introduction. Most of the important and very common question that please introduce yourself, or something like that, very common, that is your hobby, your aim in life, your daily routine, your favorite person, your favorite player, your favorite game, etc. You can discuss all the things with your friends, your families, your brothers, sisters, and your roommate, anyone beside you. So you have to start just like so. Hi, assalamu alaikum. How are you? What are you doing? How is going on? What about your family? What about you? What about your study? That's many issues there are, you can ask and you can answer. You need not to answer always appropriately, because at the first time when you are speaking, you are not a sufficient or skilled speaker, and especially we never want to be a speaker. We just want to make a very little bit communication with one another or each other. We have no need to be a teacher, no need to be an international speaker. We want to just a normal speaker by which we can make communication with each other or one another. So speaking English, obviously it tends for everybody, but if you start, if you speak every day at least 2 minutes, 3 minutes, obviously one day you will be a good speaker, I think. But very first of all, you have to avoid your shame and you have to be confident. And most of the time when people speak in front of his friends or roommates, brother or sister, uh, the audience or the viewers in front of whom they are speaking, they tease, they laugh at, and they criticize your speaking. It is the very best problem and the main problem of your outsiders. But if you stop yourself, who will face the problem? You are facing the problem. You have completed your honors and master's degree. You are studying in a university. You are studying in a college. But you cannot speak 2, 3 or 4 sentences about yourself, about your family, about your college, about your study, about your aim in life, about your daily routine, about your hobbies. So obviously it's much more shameful than being criticized. So obviously I will suggest all of you to raise your voice and start speaking. If you start, of course, it's the first stage of learning, and Without starting your voice, you will never be a good speaker. So, speaker means I want to a communicator. I think it's a better option to start first with your daily routine. What you do from morning to night, and if you want to say, most of the time we go to the person, please brother, suggest us how we can introduce ourselves in front of the people, how I can describe myself, how I can describe my hobbies, how I can describe my aims. That's all are very common things. After being educated, if you cannot speak two sentences about your dream, about your hobbies, about your daily routine, about your family, it's obviously a very very shameful matter for everybody. So if I say about my hobbies, you can say like that, I have many hobbies, but everyone has a favorite and most favorite hobbies. So, if I concerned about my favorite hobby, that is, I want to learn something new every day. But except that, I have some hobbies like playing cricket, football, singing, reciting poems, playing cards, playing chess, watching cricket games on television, gossiping with friends, sharing my knowledge with my roommates or my dear brothers, sisters, whom you can call also my students. So that's all are my hobbies, and I like to pass my time with doing these activities. So why the most favorite hobby of mine is learning something new every day? Because by learning something, you can make yourself stronger day by day, and it's a better opportunity to strong your knowledge and your inner side. That's why there is a quotation, knowledge is power. And in this modern world, all the things are being changed, all the world are changing. So you have to be changed. You are docile to change. That's why, for changing your knowledge, changing your brain, making yourself the update version, keep pace with the world, you have to learn something new every day. If you do not learn, if you do not acquire knowledge, if you do not read, obviously it will be a great mistake for you to adjust yourself with the present odds, because the world is not stand still. It's changing, it's going on, it's moving. So obviously you have to move, to upgrade yourself, to adjust yourself with the changing worlds. And what is the procedure by which you can adjust you? That is nothing but acquiring knowledge. That's why I think it's a better opportunity for me to adjust myself with the world is learning knowledge, learning something new every day, to make adjust with the changing and modern world. So I am speaking something about my hobbies, but why you can't? I think it's maybe the main problem is you feel shame, you are not self-confident. So the first criteria to raise your voice for speaking, and I suggest all of you to learn how to speak about yourself, how to speak something about your hobby, how to speak about your daily routine. You are a student of a university or a college intermediate level, or you have passed already honors or master's level, but you cannot introduce yourself in front of the people or a interviewer or any person. If someone asks you, please tell me something about yourself, please tell me something about your family, please tell me something about your daily routine, what have you done today? You cannot. What is the value of your education? What is the value? And now English is one of the most important language and communication media in the world. Isn't it? Do you unbelieve it or do you not believe it? You are docile to believe. If you are not believe in that, obviously you are living in the fool's paradise. So start. I am again saying that start speaking with your partner, with your friend, with your brother, with your sister, with your roommate, whoever she or he is, it doesn't matter. But manage him or her to speak something every day in 2 minutes, 1 minute. Hi, hello, how are you? What's up? How is going on? What about your study? I think it's not so much hard to you, not to you, but to anybody. And the question is easy. The answer of these questions is also very easy. But when you think that, am I speaking right? Am I maintaining the structure of the sentence? Am I following the structure of tenses? Or am I choosing or selecting the right vocabularies? Then the problem arises. Why? Because you are thinking that speaking is a part of grammar, or speaking is a thing that is completely the quotation from the sky, or we can say it quotation from Bible or Quran or Ved. It's like a theological book. You are thinking like that, but English is not so. English is just a medium of communication. So when you are speaking, you have to think that you are just making the audience or you are in front of people understanding that you want to say, you want to speak, you want to express something. That is, if you can say, have you taken your dinner? Alternatively, you can say that, take your dinner. Just an expression. If you say it's in expressive mode, you can express also in speaking, but in writing you have no options to express or impress the people. But when you are speaking by sounding differently, or movement of your hands, your eyes, that can, you can say, gesture. By gesturing you can manage the speaking also. Please come. But if you want to say that, please come here, it's a formal speaking. But when you need to make a communication, that time you need not to follow always the sound formality, I think. So in our country, most of the people always think that, why I cannot speak well? I want to learn speaking. I want to learn speak English. How I can make myself a better speaker? It's very common question. It's all are very common question. But answer is also very easy. That is, at the first of all, you have to start your voice. You have to start conversation, and after that, when you will be fluent, or when you can avoid shame, when you will be confident, then you have to go a person who is knowledgeable and who is a good speaker or a medium speaker, who can identify your mistake when you are speaking. So after going him or her, you have to say or request him that, brother, please, I want to speak English. I want to learn how to make conversation, or how can I speak English. I can speak something, but please test me. Is it right or wrong? And then pass some days with the person, and obviously he will be effective for you to identify your mistake, and after that he will give you some correction, and it will be the procedure of your learning English. So I always suggest all of you to raise your voice at first. Start speaking with the person, with the people who are beside you. Please avoid your shame. It's not something very hard, because I am speaking. I'm not a very good speaker, but I am speaking English. I am not so much educated. I am not a man of Britain or man of America or European country. I am just from Bangladesh also. I am also a student like you. But I can, because I know it's a communication medium. It's nothing but a language. A language is that by which you can express your inner expression and your inner feelings, by which you can make the audience understand what you want to say. You can use your expression, gesture, different sounds. By using different gesture, you can also manage your speaking. But in writing, there is no option to manage your writing by uttering any sounds, normal or hard voice, or make any gestures, movement of your hand, eyes, your smile, everything, your hands. So speaking is a very very easy and important thing for everybody. And if you say, how can I manage my daily routine to speak in front of anyone? If someone asks you, please tell me something about your daily routine, very easily you can start like that. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. I am going to say something about my daily routine. Very first of all, I get up early in the morning at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, it's your choice. But if you can say like that, get up early in the morning, it's okay for you. Early in the morning, that's mean at that time of dawn, at the first hour of your morning. And most of the Muslims can say their prayer, or the Hindus say their worship. So he or she can say that, and then I refresh myself, and I take my prayer, Fajr prayer, and taking my Fajr prayer, I recite Quran, or anyone. I take some breakfast, and after that I sit for study, and I study till 2 or 3 hours at the morning, and after that I refresh myself. I take my bath and eat something, then I take rest. Finally, or then I go outside for my coaching or school or colleges, etc. There are many things you can describe in your daily routine. What you doing, you just have to say that. And I think you do not do anything like that. You do not know the meaning in English of that work. What you do, you go to school, you eat your breakfast, you take bath, you sleep, you study, you gossip with your friends, you go playground, you watch television, you sing. There are many things like that you do every day, and I think there is nothing very uncommon that you cannot describe in English. So at the first time you do more and more mistake, it doesn't matter. By mistaking that, you have to understand you are a confident man, and you are learner, you are not a good speaker. At the first time you have to think yourself as a learner. You are a student, you are learning something. You need not to think yourself as a good speaker, because a person never can do his best or her best at the first time, because speaking or education or knowledge, all the things are a race like marathon race. Okay, so you have to be patient, you have to start, you have to repeat all the things, you have to be confident, and after some days, some month, or passing a year, you will be a good speaker. But at the first time, if you think you are a good speaker, then you will be lost your confidence, and if someone say you are doing mistake, you will be failed. But if you think yourself that I am a speaker, but I am in the first position, I am in the first stage of learning, I am just a learner. So that time, if someone criticize you or someone tell you are doing mistake, it will not affect on you. So this is my humble request to all of you, that you can start. And what topic? I already said the topic may be such as your daily routine, your hobbies, your aims or dreams of your life, your introduction, about your family, about your favorite persons, about your favorite games, about your future plan, or etc. There are many things about your room, about your pen, about your table, about your mobile phone. All the things are very easy to speak in front of the people, to express your emotion or feelings. Just try. I think when someone is speaking very well and you cannot speak, you think that why I cannot. You cannot because you do not practice. So a long time I am speaking in English and you all listening me, please find out some words which is unknown to you. I think all the words are very easy, common and known to you. So I always request all of you to start. Thank you so much. And when you start, if you need any help, obviously I am here to help you. I will try to do something for making yourself or you a good speaker. Though I am not so much good speaker, but when you start, I think at that time I will be able to understand your stage, which stage in you are. When you will be a good stage, I will give the good treatment to you. How can you make yourself much better than that? But if you are in a very primary level and the starting level, preliminary stage, that time I also suggest you how you can make yourself better than the primary stage, and how you can start a good conversation about your daily routine, about your hobby, about your aim in life, about your favorite person. So all these things are so much important for everybody. And if you cannot speak 2 or 3 sentences about your aim, about your daily routine, about your hobbies, about your yourself, your family, your favorite person, I think it's a very shameful matter for you after completing your honors or master's degree from university or colleges. So it's my humble request all of you to again that you can start speaking, and it's very easy task for everybody. It's not so hard, just you have to think it's a language. And this is my challenge to all of you, that find out a word which I am speaking you don't know, or uncommon to you, unknown to you. So if you know all the things, all the speaking, if you understand my speaking, Why? What's the problem of you? Why you cannot speak? You cannot speak because you do not practice. But if you know all these vocabularies, all these word meaning, all these sentence structure, all the things are available to you, just the difference is that lack of practice. So I suggest and request and advise all of you to start speaking, and I am here to help you. If you think any problem, you can message me, you can comment here. Please brother, correct my speaking, I want to say that in Bangla, but I cannot convert it into English. Obviously I am here to help you, I help you inshallah. So don't feel shame, raise your voice, start speaking. I am reading some comment here. That is MD Firoz Hossein. Assalamu alaikum bhai, কেমন আছেন? Alhamdulillah, I am fine. And you? Abhishek, fantastic, thank you so much. M.A. Hassan, bhai কেমন আছেন? Alhamdulillah, I am very fine by the grace of Almighty. What's about you? Sound com. That's why I am taking the speaker in front of very close to my mouth and trying to speak soundly. Okay, thank you so much. M.A. Hassan, I was need speaking in English, so you live class help me for speak. Thank you so much. I will go on inshallah the live class. আপনার ক্লাসটা বাংলা বললে আমি বুঝতে সুবিধা হতো ইনশাআল্লাহ I will try to conduct my class in Bangla in the next time, but today I start with English. Inshallah I will try to finish the lecture in English. Just it's an inspiration. MD Zairul Islam, love to you Mr. Zairul. It's an inspiration to all of you that when I am speaking, you the listener all getting my voice, getting what I want to say. That I am a Hassan who is a test. Alhamdulillah, yes, you can make me understand, and this is the main feature of a communicator or a speaker, because if you say something and the audience can get yourself, that time you are a successful speaker. Okay, so in speaking you are wrong or right, it doesn't matter. If the people get your expression, get your feelings, get your emotion, you are successful in speaking. So obviously this is an inspiration for all of you that I am speaking in English, but most of the students, most of the viewers are listening me, they are getting me what I want to understand. They are not getting any hard vocabularies, any hard sentence structure, tense or anything else like that. So I request all of you that when you are listening me, you getting my voice, getting all the language, but you feel your problem is you feel shame, you cannot arise your voice, you cannot remove your shamefulness from yourself, you are not confident, that's why you cannot speak. There is no other problem here, because I am speaking, you are listening and getting me, so you all have the ability to speak also. Just the problem is managing or structuring the sentences, but it's not so much hard issue to you. The issue is you have to start at first, you have to be confident at first, and slowly but steadily you will be a good speaker inshallah. I think it's not so very hard issues for you. So the challenge is again through to you that is, find any words, any structure that is hard to you. I think all the things are already known to you, and if you try, obviously it's possible to speak, possible to start a good conversation, possible to be a good speaker. So start, and if you feel any problem, comment here and connect with me, reach me, I will try to help you inshallah. Thank you so much. Bye bye.